Good evening, everyone. Please scan the QR code and do the event check-in. This will give you access to additional resources and information about events that we are running on Reactor, which are around similar topics to today's session. Also, you will be able to access links from today's session. I will share the event check-in link and the QR code again with the event ID in the Q&A section shortly. All you need is to enter the event ID, which is displayed on the screen. The event ID is 14039, and you can, access all the additional resources. Please do keep an eye on the chat section for further details. Thank you all again for joining us today. My name is Rashmita and I'm the event planner from Microsoft Reactor. This session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. The session is being recorded and will be made available to watch on demand on Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel. I will share the link to our YouTube channel in the chat section soon. Today we are back with the GitHub Action for Azure Series Part 2. In case if you have missed the first part, please visit our Reactor YouTube channel to watch the recorded session. Quick word on a code of conduct. We display this at all Microsoft Reactor events that we run, and it's just a reminder to be aware of others. The key thing to take out here is to be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. I would now like to welcome Vivek, our speaker for today's session. Vivek is a tech enthusiast and an open source contributor with around 15 years of experience in the software industry. He works at Microsoft as a senior developer product marketing manager. But for now, I'll hand over to Vivek to begin the session. Over to you, Vivek.
Hey, thanks, Rashmita. Just sharing my screen. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome back to the second session of GitHub Actions series, basically. This was our first event, and I'll anyways talk about this in depth. But today's focus is specifically from the GitHub Actions for Azure Kubernetes Service, and also we will take a look at the serverless. Somebody is not in mute. Can you go on mute?
I just did, Vivek.
Okay. Thank you. So, so 14th, which is today, we will focus on this specific two services, and we will see how to design the workflow, what are those sections we need to cover when we build that workflow, and we will also see a couple of things which is from the required fields, which is not required, and all those things, okay, and how to read it and all those stuff. 28th, which is this event, is specifically from a database and the machine learning models deployment. That is also we will be focusing on specifically on the services. But again, there are different things which you need to build with actions. We will also take a look at it. And 30th is more from security, but also I want to spend this time as a ask me anything AMA session, and there is a discussion between all of us. I want to spend a lot of time there so that if at all you have any questions from all these other sessions which we have done, we can definitely on 30th we'll all regroup and discuss about it. Probably it could be it's not just one-to-one discussions. It's basically the community coming together and discussing about how they did it, or if they have done it, if they are facing issues, what are those issues they are facing, and how to solve those problems. Okay, so that will be the 30th as well. So people who don't know me, this is me. This is I started my career way back 15 years back as a software developer, a bit of DevOps, and then I was also a founder developer advocate at DigitalOcean. Today I lead the marketing and strategy and stuff like that. I think there is something going wrong here. Anyways, okay. So I'll not spend much time on the slides. We will go directly into the discussions. But before I go deep dive into the discussions, I hope you can see my screen. It's more from the it's a OneNote, by the way. So this is what we discussed last time. Okay, what we did was we got a little bit of introduction to a lot of things which is there in the GitHub Actions, the syntax and the workflow and the basic things like runner and other things. And then we did deploy an app to Azure App Service, and then built a GitHub action for that, for doing a continuous deployment as well. So if you go to these any of these two links, I've already uploaded the hacks, the challenges which is required for you to learn, and then there is Codebase which we used in the last session, and then tutorials and videos all is uploaded there, so you can go back and take a look at it. This was the code, by the way, we used it, and this was the GitHub Actions we built. So basically, you know that, right? So it's an on keyword. We use it's a YAML file, keeper value from a push perspective. We built a job steps which were required, and then just build a Docker container and pushed it to the Azure Web App. But today we'll focus on two things. One is serverless and the the Kubernetes. The most important thing here is serverless. I'm not going to use the usual way of deployment. Uh, the usual deployment is you go and create a GitHub repo, have the code there, and then write um, write the workflow there and then deploy it. But this today what we will do is we will create the workflow from Azure itself and then use it as a direct deployment to the serverless function. Okay, so the structure is very simple. We are going to create a local app and we will sync that app to the GitHub repo, and then we will just straight away go to the Azure and create a function app with the GitHub Actions code generated from the portal itself, and then we will just use the code. Um, this is very similar to the one which we did for Azure App Service, right? So there is authentication, there is build, and there is deploy. And if you see the steps, right? If you see the way the workflow is being designed, it is always divided into three sections for specifically for uh, function app. There is authentication. You do the publishing profile we did last time. You can check out the video how to do that, and then create a GitHub secret. We did that, but I'll anyways show that while I'm doing this demo, and then we will see how to set up the environment and build the function and deploy it. Okay, so let us go straight into the uh, demo. Okay, we'll create a local app. So how do you create a local app? It's very simple. Let's it's here. Let us make directory, say function app demo. Okay, so I'll make a directory here, and then I'll go to my VS Code. So what I'll do is I'm going to create a new project. So this is how you can create a new project for a function. So to do this, I've already installed functions, extensions, Azure function extensions on my VS Code. I've already having the Azure functions core tools already installed, so that I can make use of the functions command line as well. So basically, if you want to do all these things, you need to go through the steps. I'll anyways publish those things on my GitHub repo, and you can actually take a look at it and also do the steps and figure it out. So this is a way I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to browse. Um, I'm going to select the repo function app demo, and I'm going to select it, and I'm going to create a Python app, So let me select a Python app. Let me select a default one, and then it will say which of those triggers. Understanding about triggers is very important. So I'm just taking the default triggers and call this as function app vs demo. Okay, let's call it as vs demo. And then there is who can access it. I want everyone can access it, so let me make it and add to workspace. So when I click on add to workspace, it will get added here, but anyways, it's very important to see this. So it's very simple. I've just created a simple function app for myself. I'll not go and show you the demo of like executing it and how it shows in the local and all those things. You can figure that out from the uh, tool which I'm going to share. So as of now, what I'll do is I'm going to create this, and it's already, if you go to your GitHub, it is already, it's saying that, uh, you can commit these changes. So I can do that. I can go back here and say commit, and I'm just putting that in the master, a message, code base. Okay, so now I'm selecting the code base and committing it, but there is no repo, right? I know there is no repo where we have created this. So what we should be doing now is we need a repo for making sure that this is up and running. So I'll go back to the GitHub repo and create a new one.
Vivek, sorry to interrupt. We can see just your OneNote, not the demo page.
No, no, we are able to see the screen. No issues for us.
How is it now?
Yes,
No issue.
No issues, right? Okay, perfect. So I'm creating a repo, uh, function app. Okay, I'm just creating a repo, nothing in it, just creating a new repo. It's added. Now what we will do is we will go to repos. We did function app demo, right? We selected this, and this is what it is. Okay, so it's already there. All I want to do now is git. If I do the push, it won't, because there is nothing, right? So what I'll do is I'm adding the remote and add a name to it, function vs, and the GitHub URL. This is the GitHub URL, and push it. Will it push the function? I don't think so. It should not. It should be set as upstream. So we're going to set this as upstream and say function vs, and then there is master. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is I just created a sample app, and with the sample app I'm pushing it to a new GitHub repo itself, and this is getting created, and I have a new repo ready for myself. If I do the refresh for this page, I have the code base ready for me, right? So now code base is ready, and I have the code which is running code and other things. Now what we will do is we'll go to my Azure portal and create a new function app. Okay, so this is something which we didn't demo last week. Last week also we could have used this way. We could have created an app service, without going and creating a new a new GitHub workflow, simple GitHub workflow. But for this specific thing, I'm just showing how you can do it directly from the portal. Uh, can you go on mute? Whoever it is. Thank you. So I'm going to choose the same resource group which I'm using, and then I'm going to use the same. Um, this is code. Oh, there's app name already exists. Sorry. Let's use, what was that? Function app. Let's this demo. Is it there? Somebody has done all the demos, yeah? VS demo. Hopefully it is there. Perfect. And then there is code, and then there is Python, and then we used 3.7 wherever we want to host it. Storage account, Linux, consumption plan. I'm taking consumption plan, and then next, and then insights. Tag is not required. We're going to create a function. So what it does is, if you notice, I have not connected any GitHub repo. I have not done any code deployment. It is just creating a function app, and there is no deployment. We have selected the code, but we have not done anything. We are just telling that it is going to be a Python function and other things. So give it some time while it creates. Let it create. It will create, and it will take some time to create. While it creates, let me show you. So let me go here itself directly. Okay, so if you go to wikibytes.com, there is a bunch of things which I have given for you to learn, and you can take up this challenge and learn by yourself. And for the previous session, just go to click this GitHub Actions for Azure for detailed GitHub repos and reference docs and reactive YouTube channels where you can go and find everything. I have also a couple of hacks for you to build the challenge. You can go and build it. We'll just wait for this to come up. It will take some time. Cool, my deployment is ready. So let me go back to the deployment. So if you notice, the function app is up, but no API is running behind it. So what we will do is we'll go to a deployment center and click on the deployment center here, which is this button, and it's asking you how do you want to do it. So now I select GitHub, and I have already signed in, so I'll just select my organization, which is my name, and then you have your repository, and this is the repository, right? That is what we built, right? Correct. So let me go back here. So this is the repository I'm selecting, and this is the branch on which we are doing stuff, and this is the runtime stack and other things. And if you see here, I can create my workflow configuration for serverless. So last time when we built it for app service, it was directly from GitHub, went to GitHub Actions, created new one, and then added the code, YAML code and everything. For this one, what we're doing is we are creating it directly from the portal of Azure. If you just click on preview, you can see the complete code is available, complete YAML is available here, and it's clear that it's pushing from a master branch. If there is happening a push on the master branch, there is going to be a change, and there is going to be a dispatch going to happen, and there are certain environments. So this one we didn't talk about environment variable last time. The environment variables are nothing but you want to set some variables for your actions. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it's a keeper value, simple keeper values, and you can see here, and you are setting it up, and then what it does is it starts the job. The job name is, again, it's the way you define it, and you have defined it as build and deploy, and runs on Ubuntu. we did talk about this last time. It is a runner. So a runner is nothing but an infrastructure which it's provided for the GitHub Actions to run, right? You need an infrastructure if you want to build something. You need an infrastructure if you want to store something. So it's been provided by the GitHub team for you to execute these commands and execute these actions. This is again, it is configurable. The runner can be configured for your own. You can also configure your own infrastructure, or you can use the infrastructure provided by the GitHub team. So the steps wise, it's very simple. It uses the actions checkout version 2. What does that mean is, we did talk about this as well. Whenever you go to GitHub Actions /actions, sorry, github.com/actions, what you're going to get is all list of all the available pre-built templates where you can use it for your activities. So basically, this time we are using checkout. If you go to the checkout, you can find the actions.yaml. It shows what it does, and you can see these are the required files, required things. What are the descriptions, token, and input keys? There are a couple of options which you can provide with the checkout, and this is what it is here. So it's using this, and it is checking out as a simple stuff, and then you are setting up environment. So if you notice this syntax, right, it's it's basically uh, it's basically env dot python version. What does that mean? Is env is nothing but uh, your environment variables. So here you are setting up the version of the Python, and then you're you're using that for setting it up, and then you're running the dependencies and other things. These are commands. So basically, we did talk about this last time. We did run a couple of commands, build and deploy commands. And then the most important thing is the profile, which is the secret to access the function in this specific demo. But the best way to use this is to create a profile. We did see that, and then this is the package name, the name of the package which you're going to use. That is the path of the setting up the path of the web app which you're going to deploy. So this is what it is, and I'll show you how to create a publishing profile as well on the functions, but later on. But this is if you just save this, it's going to set up the GitHub Actions for us, and it also starts building it, and you can actually see the code gets built and gets deployed at certain. Okay, so just go back to this overview. So here is how you can do it. So there is a get published profile. You can just get the published profile. If you click on that, a file gets downloaded, and copy the content of the file, and go to your GitHub repo. Say this is your GitHub repo, and go to the settings and go to secrets, and you will be able to see how to create a new secret specifically for this repo, usable in this repo. Just click on the new repository secret, and then you create a name and copy the anything like Azure web app publishing profile. Just copy the content of the file which got downloaded. We have done this demo in the last session. Please go to the website which I showed you, where you'll get all the details of it. So let me go back here, and does this So now it has created the GitHub workflow here. So this is where it has created the workflow, and it is by default if you notice that there was nothing called as workflow, it just got added 2 minutes back. That is because we defined it directly from Azure app. So when we click on this, right, you can see the YAML file, which is the same file which I just explained. Everything is set here. So these are commands. So this is a simple build commands, bash commands, nothing specific. And for Azure, this is how you get. So Azure also has built certain templates. So you can actually find these templates when you go into uh, you know the website like this. And if you just go to github.com/azure/functions actions, you can see this. It is already listed and it is already pre-built, and there is action.yaml, and where the complete help is there. So it says app name is required and package name is not so required. And if you see, it has a language specific as well. It's basically, it's talking about Java functions app, how you can provide these information. So there are a couple of things which are required for a couple of activities you do, but this is where you can find all the details for specifically for functions app for Azure. So /Azure, you'll get all this stuff. So if you don't need this Azure, you want to see all the other stuff, if you go to /Azure, you can find all the other required repositories. So there are a bunch of repositories which is already there for you to get started and work on it. So you can take a look at it and play around with it. Okay, so the code is same and it's not so difficult. I've just given it. It does speak all the details. This is directly coming from the portal, so then nothing to be added here. So let's go to actions. So it is already running. Okay, it is because it first time it got checked in, so it's already running a bunch of commands, the same thing which I shared, and it has built and deployed, right? So basically it has completed and it has completed the action itself. So we will see that basically what it does is the name is what? FNAP, right? No, FNAP function app vs demo, right? So let us go here /API/function app vs demo. Okay, so the function is running. Let's say name is equal to Microsoft Reactor. I hope it will run. Okay, this is the first time deployment of the code. If you see, we had a local code and we picked that local code, put it in the GitHub repo, and from the GitHub repo I am taking that code and directly creating a function app on the Azure portal. And then we are taking that from Azure portal. We created a GitHub action which was pre-built action, so you really don't have to be worried. It is almost set for you, and you are going and deploying it directly onto the app through GitHub. Right now, we will see by making some changes to the code and see how exactly this goes
Vivek,
into the.
sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, Vivek. Vivek, you can see that repository like you have YML has been created, but I want to restrict the YML from other users. I can see it gives me a little option to update your code, YML code. But how I can restrict somebody should not do anything to my YML code? How we can do that?
That cannot be edited, no? That has to be.
Like I can
Uh,
see it says add or update the app service deployment workflow configuration. I can see the link has came to me.
you forked it, is it?
Nobody.
Then how are you editing it?
No, I'm just getting the link to edit because once I go to here, I just see the link like add or update the app service deployment work. This link should not populate. I think like to restrict from the users, right?
No, it's okay. To unless and until even if you edit it, somebody has to make a pull request to that, and then
Okay.
get it can be rejected also. And by the way, editing to directly to the work, there is a security for that. You cannot directly add into the repos. Let
Yes,
me
yes.
show you. There is a security there where you will create a authorization, and for workflow you can control the authorization. If I have created this repo, right? Um, this repo
Yes.
has workflow, and if
Correct,
I
correct.
edit this workflow from my
Can
VS
you can you
Code.
see the link? Can you see the link of add or update service deployment? That link is coming there. Can you see the right one, the middle one? Yeah, this same option is coming for me as well. So I want that should not be, this should be disabled for other users, right?
That's fine. If so,
Okay.
even if you open it and it is only showing you what code it is, but it is not showing you anything else because this is a public repo, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
So
correct.
this is a public repo, but it is restricted. I'll show you how.
Okay.
You
Sure,
know
sure.
what? I have this function demo, right? I did create this one, and I have the code with me. And if I go and edit the code, if I go and edit the code with respect to, it doesn't have. Uh, okay, let me. I hope this is there. So this git pull. So if I pull this, I have my workflow here, right? Now, because I added a workflow to this GitHub repo, it is there. But if I edit this and then go back and try to push this, it will tell me that I don't have permissions.
Okay, okay, okay.
Uh, we will do that demo just after that. I hope I've set that as restricted, but we'll test that out.
Yes, yes, that is what I wanted.
And we'll test it out. Uh,
Okay.
okay, so where was I? What was I doing?
Thank you, Vivek. Yeah.
No worries. Now I completely forgot where was I. So we were actually making sure we change the code, right? So we will go here and make some edits, make some changes to the code. So let's, you know, I'm just directly doing it. It's because I'll have to copy it and do it. So let me edit this and say hello to welcome. Okay, now I'm doing some changes, updated code. Committed. So when I do this, right, if you go to the actions, now it gets started. And basically what should happen is it's a continuous deployment process. Now somebody is pushing your code, somebody is pushing the code to the GitHub repo. There is a change in the repo. Automatically, the workflow picks up this, and then it starts executing the steps which was already there. The moment we execute these steps, my code has to change here, right? So it will take some time to execute though. It is executing all the steps which is there. You can see the steps in fact. So we didn't see that last time. If I click on this button, you can actually see that. Um, see specific things getting updated, specific commands getting updated, and there's some warnings as well. You can see the warnings, and then it will execute it. Okay, so let us give it some time for it to execute, and this is how you can actually build it. By the way, you can also add new actions to it. If you go here, you can add new actions to this specific. We saw it last time. When you click on new actions, there are couple of things which is available here. You can deploy, you can make use of continuous integrations and automations and other things. And if at all there is something, a new contributors coming in, if you want to label it, if you want to use a simple manual workflow, all these things are available here in the marketplace. And there is also a marketplace, by the way. You can actually go to the marketplace and use the marketplace actions or pre-built actions available for making sure that you use it in a specific way. Okay, so let us give it a bit, because it takes some time for code to come in, build and deploy. It's not yet deployed. By the way, this is on the consumption plan. So this is basically whenever there is a request coming in, then only it spins up and you're being charged for that only. So you'll have to wait for some time. Okay, while we do that, let us try this out, which where we have edited the workflow. This is the workflow, right? So what we'll add? We'll add a comment saying GitHub security test, right? I'll save this, and there is a GitHub change. You can see that. So we'll come back here. So GitHub status, it will tell me that there is a change. GitHub add, GitHub commit. Things security, GitHub push. See? Local. This is usually caused by another repository pushing update or rejected because the remote contains more than you do. There's something in my GitHub. Not about the first one. I don't know whether this is security or the the issue with the which we are building. Okay, the code gets built and gets changed. So this is how it works. So basically we have set everything up. Now if you keep changing your code, it is directly coming to this specific location. So this is one way to do the functions app demo. This one I don't know. This should restrict me. It is restricting me, but I don't know. Let's check with the status. Is there anything? GitHub push. No. Update will reject it.
It is saying fetch first.
Yeah.
You have to-
So
You have to pull
pull
first.
the
Yeah. Okay, we had to merge and stuff. Oh God, let's think. Let's not do that live. Anyways, oh, it got merged. Let's see. It does. Oh, it gets pushed. Oh no. Flow. See, there's some personal access token is not there. Got this? You got this? I think there was some gentleman.
like a valid error, right?
No, this is a rejection because I don't have. See, I have set up a personal access token, and that access token does not update workflows.
Okay. So your
The token, so basically it's an administration. So basically GitHub administration, you provide the token to the user where there is no access to update anything for the workflow. And the user, whoever is using or working on this repo, does not have permissions to update the workflow.
okay.
Okay, so you can actually restrict it in the security level of the repo. Okay, so not security level of the repo. I have actually created a personal token at the organization level actually for me. Okay, so that is how you can do it. And this was one example which I wanted to show you, right? So simple code push, it's coming now. So it was very easy for us to build for the function. The GitHub Actions is ready-made. It's available for us. Yeah, you can easily pick it and drive it, right? Coming to the Kubernetes now, there is slight changes in Kubernetes. Maybe from it also has a 3 sections like the build, deploy, and other things. But there are a couple of other things which you do. That is, you log in to the container registry. You do the build and push for the container image. That was similar to the app service, but there is you're setting a target, you're accessing the Docker registry and deploying to Kubernetes cluster using that. But this one, I'm not going to do it directly through the couple of steps from directly from the portal, but we'll anyway see this out. For this particular demo, I've already created Kubernetes cluster because it takes almost 10 minutes time to get it created. But I'll show you how what are the things I've used while creating that, right? So coming to create Kubernetes cluster. So this is very simple, whatever I'm doing, but there are a couple of uh, I create and I hope it is visible. Okay, so it's very simple. So I've used the GitHub Actions resource group, which I already have. Some name, whatever zone you want, it is already there, obviously. So testing, and then availability zones and other things. I've chosen the size and nodes, how many nodes I want. A couple of agent pools and other things, and virtual node if you need it. Those are the things which you really might need. And then there is a service principal which you can create. This is very important because if you create a service principal, you can use that secret, the JSON file, it gets created, and you add it into the cluster. So I'll just show you how I have added it. And then I made it role-based access control, and then there is encryption type, and then there is networking. You can choose the networking and other things. I want to access load balancers and other things, so that the cluster, when it comes up, it is available. But this is the most important step, where I'm connecting the you know uh, container registry. If I don't connect it here, then probably there is no there will be an authentication error or something in your GitHub actions. So I'm just connecting it here as well, and then there is monitoring and other things which is there, and then I've just created this cluster. So there is a cluster already. So let me go back and see this cluster. There is cluster running. So this is a cluster. So there's already a bunch of things Kubernetes cluster shows you. So let me go back to the code where the okay. So I'm starting the Cloud Shell just to make sure I have access to it. It has to come up. Okay, it's here. Ta-da. So I'm just getting the credentials. I hope I have the credentials, and kubectl get nodes. So I've already set the cluster. I've already set the number of nodes which is running. There are 2 nodes which are running. Everything is up. So everything is running. I've also deployed an app there. Okay, so how did I deploy an app there? It's very simple. I'll just show you the code which is there in the GitHub repo. Let me go back here. This is this one. Okay, so this is the GitHub repo, which is there. This is very simple. This is a Azure Voting App, which is already there and it is already running. This is what it is running. So it is telling me whether it is an owl or a lark or something, and you can actually go back and vote for it. It is a very simple app which is available. The code is there. Reset and everything is available. Okay, so this is a simple app, Python app. I have it, and this is the YAML for it, and all is set here. But the most important thing about this code is, I don't want to go in depth of Kubernetes YAML file discussion. It will take forever. So most important thing to note here is the container. So what I have done is I built this particular code locally, and I have deployed this code to container registry of Azure. We did this last time, and in the video is available. We did it live, so you can follow that up to reach here. So there is a container which is sitting in my container registry, and that is what I'm using here now, right? So you have to make sure that you edit your containers, the image path. It's very simple to edit. You just need to add your container registry details and the image which you are going to use. So that is simple, and I've just added that and gone back and created the workflow. And this is a very simple workflow, and there are a couple of environment variables. Again, I'm using only on push, and then for rest of the other things which you can add, there is multiple things you can add here on push, on the branch, and on different environments if you want to. So basically you can provide all the things, but I'm just using on push. And then we just did discuss about environment. There is environment variables which we designed it out there. So you should be able to understand from the thing, like this is our registry name, this is my cluster name, which is the Kubernetes cluster, and then this is the resource group and the namespace I want to create, and then there is a secret. Secret is for connecting to the container registry, and then there is app name. So this is the app name. So and then job starts as it's just a build job, and it is Ubuntu latest runner, which is again I'm using the same Ubuntu, and you can also use Windows or you can use other things, and I'm using the actions checkout. We have done that. As Docker login, we have done that last time, so it's very simple. The same thing with login user. So if you go here, Azure/Docker login, github.com Azure/Docker login, you will see set of actions which you can work with right. You can either provide username, password, and various other things which is required. It will be shown there, and then you are pushing the code to the image, sorry, build the image, and you're pushing the image to the registry. So this is very simple. So you are just doing through commands, and we have already provided environment variable for registry name and app name. It is already here. So the code is here, right? So this is already set. So you're providing all those details, and you see that I'm using setting context. So this is the target I'm setting it. So when I say setting the target, I'm using Azure credentials. This is very simple. I'm going to create the Azure credentials and add it in the secrets of GitHub, where if you go here and into the settings, let me show that for you in some other window. It's not here. Oh. Let me go to the repo. Which repo is that? Voting repo. Okay, so if you go to the settings, there is secrets. I've added a couple of secrets. You cannot see anything. You can either you can update or remove. And I've added registry secrets. This is to access my registry, which is container registry. So we did a live demo of how to do this, how to get this username and password and add it here in the previous session. Please take a look at those videos as well. So this is where we are, right? So basically, added those things, cluster name, cluster resource. We are setting the target. That means on which cluster we are, and we are going to do this deployment. And then we are setting the namespace. If it is not there, it will create. And then we are pulling the image from the registry and then deploying these things to the Kubernetes, right? We are using the same. If you see that the manifest file is the same name I've given, the manifest file is available in the code itself. So these are the things, it's very simple. Image and other things, namespace also been provided. So this is the command kind of a thing. If you are using this in the command, right? So you will be, using the same thing, deploy on -f, kubectl -f. This is the YAML file. This is the namespace where I want to deploy. So you're going to give all those information anyways. So this is what it is. And it's very simple. Now we'll go back and we have seen Azure Voting App, right? So basically it's talking about owl or a lark, right? And we'll go back here and go back to the code and say we will change it. We will change this code to be something else. We'll call it as dogs versus cat. So people who are cat person can choose cat. People who are dog person can choose dog. So okay, I'm committing this code. So you see that, when the moment I commit, what happens in my action? It gets updated and you see it starts running. This is a color where you can figure it out. Green is obviously it has completed and it is successful. And this is gets start running. It's very simple. You can see it does build, it logins and builds and does the same things, pull the image and it runs the commands which we are provided with. This is a simple workflow. Whenever there is a change in the code, the workflow gets we change the workflow and then it runs the certain commands through this YAML file where we have set it. So a couple of things it does, and then it's running the deployment and it deploys the code. See that there is going to be a deployment. Right now it does a dog versus cat, right? So it's very simple. And this is a continuous deployment. The beauty of continuous deployment, make changes to your code, it is on production, right? So um, and that's that's a very simple way of doing it. But of course there are intricacies, there are different environments if you want to try it, and then it comes here. So if you want to build such sophisticated things and other things, use Azure DevOps and other things. But this is very straightforward. Build the code, put it there, and you'll be able to drive it, right? So this is a simple way to do
Vivek,
it.
I have one question here.
Yeah.
Like, how we are integrating this GitHub to Kubernetes? So can you show me that linking part once?
Yeah. So it's in this code, here is where I'm setting the target. So Azure Credentials is nothing but a service principal I've created. So when you create a service principal, it will give you a JSON file, and you need to copy the JSON and add it in the security, which I showed you here. Go to the settings, and there is a secrets, and you add that. So I have added that, and similarly I've added for registry names and password, and I'm using that. So here I am setting the context for the workflow, that this is where you need to deploy. And then I'm telling this is the namespace where I want to deploy, and then I'm telling this is the image I want you to pull. I mean, this is the okay secrets and other things, and name set this up, and then I'm telling go deploy. The go deploy is nothing but your kubectl -f manifest file which you have. So you're setting that up. So if you go to this Azure KH deployment, right? So basically I'll show you how it's manifested. So if I go to github.com/azure/k deployments, you will see there is actions.yaml, and it is providing you all the details how to do it, right? So what all is required, what is not required. Manifest is definitely required because it needs to deploy to Kubernetes. So what are the things which is not required? It's already there, and a couple of things it is mentioned, and there are a couple of things like you know uh, deploy true and other things, which is internally it is taking it up, but it is not like you have to give all these details. These are the things, it's very simple. If you go to this actions.yaml for any of these already pre-built templates, you'll be able to understand what is required, what is not required, what are the things which you can do, and you can definitely make use of that.
So, as this is my first session, so I can get the previous sessions in your wikibytes.com site, right?
Yes, it's already there. There are two things actually. You can actually go directly to that site, or you can go to this /GitHub Actions. If you go to here, it is there. GitHub Actions is there. If you go here, I've provided all the details, uh, including the Microsoft Learn modules. 8 modules I have picked from the Microsoft Learn, where you can actually do these things by creating a sandbox. So you can create a sandbox and then run these sessions, right? So that is what you can do. Okay. So by the way, this is a challenge which I was talking about. I've already created.
Sorry to stop.
Yeah.
So can we deploy a function app into the Kubernetes clusters?
Yes, you can. I think there is a module, and also there is a tutorial on docs.com. If you go to Microsoft Docs, you will find a tutorial that how you can deploy a function app to the Kubernetes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
So this is the challenge which I was talking about. Please uh, take this challenge because it will, it has sandbox, it has all the steps to do these activities, like these things which I showed you. All the steps are available there. I'm not created something on my own and doing this. It's already available there. I'm picking the same thing, and we are talking here. So basically you can go there and run these steps. So definitely a good experience for the developers to build on their skills there. So given that, any questions? I'm happy to take those questions now. Is there any questions? You can unmute and ask questions, or if you have anything uh, else to discuss, we can also discuss that. No questions?
So one thing is before we conclude. So when we deploy our function app in this in the normal way in the consumption plan. So where it which environment it use? Is it using shared hosting environment or
Yes, yes.
what?
It's
Yeah, understood.
consumption plan is always shared hosting, and premium plan is, I think, it has its own. Uh, it's not dedicated, I believe, but it is also your function app is always running in a premium plan. In the consumption plan, it is not always running. It will only spin up when somebody accesses this API, but but in premium plan it is always up and running. It is always warm. It's called warm state in the containers. And uh, and the uh, the other plan which is there, um, which is very specific, it where you need a dedicated system, that is where you come into the Azure App Service.
Thank you.
Do you have any plan to take session on Kubernetes? I have done that before. I have a couple of sessions done, and it is available on my website. If you go to the uh, wikibase.com, you can access the videos already done the session. Yeah, coding. The coding challenge is also there on the Wikibuy. So everything I put it at one location so that people can access it. If you're asking for the coding challenge, it is there. I'll be updating the challenge for all the sessions I'm doing. So basically, last session's challenge is available. This session's challenge I will update there so that you can go back and play around and submit it as well, and get a like from us, get a like, following from us. So sandbox, there is a question around where can I access the sandbox. A sandbox is available on Microsoft Learn. So any of the modules you go into the Microsoft Learn, you will definitely get access to all the sandbox. It's definitely a couple of things which is there. You can access sandbox. There is code samples which you can make use of. These are things which will definitely help you.
Yes, Vivek. I have used that sandbox and it's very user friendly actually. So we just
Yes,
need
and
to
it
switch
is
the directories. Currently, we will be in the current directory, and there will be one sandbox which will be created. So, and it will be available only till that session. It will get
yes,
auto.
for 3 hours or something it is
Yes, yes,
available.
yes. Yeah.
So it is available for 3 hours, so you can play around with all these things. You don't really need an account to learn this up. So you can definitely go back and make use of this.
So Vivek, have you recall any issues or while doing this process?
Sorry?
Have you received any issues while doing this process, like from GitHub to this Kubernetes? Like right now, we received one access, right? Deploying restriction issues, we got one issues got. Have you received any other issues?
No, that is because I don't have the personalized token for that. Um, so
Any
that
other
is
issues
one.
you recall?
I don't see. These are very simple apps, right? So
Yes,
the
yes.
moment it becomes more and more complicated app, the complexity of the actions changes. The way you want to play around with the actions will be different. That is when you will also build a nested actions. There is something called as need keyword. We haven't seen, but let me see if I can do the demo of that in my next session. There is something called as need keyword, which is like if you complete one, if you complete first part of the build and deploy, and then the next is testing. That means testing has to wait until build and deploy happens, right? So what will happen is the testing job will wait for for these jobs to complete. So the workflow can be divided into different jobs, right? So there is a job which is running, and then there is one more job which is waiting for this job to complete. So those things can be created. So it gets little complex, and maybe the failures and other things you might see there, but I don't think so. I don't think so. There will be an issue as long as you spend some time building this on your own, writing this on your own, and deploying it and playing around with different kinds of apps and other things. Because if you see this, right, from a function app perspective, for a Java specific thing, there are certain options available in the template. If you open the template, you can see there is a Java specific things, right? So there is a separate thing for different programming languages. So that is something which you need to take a look at it. So there is a question, how can we integrate CI/CD pipeline for DB? So that's a very good question. So which we are going to do it in the next session. So the next session is about the next session, which is on 28th. We're going to talk about databases, how we are going to build it for databases, and specifically from data, also from machine learning deployments and other things. So we are going to do that as well. So please take this challenge. This will help you with, it has all the 8 modules. It covers almost all the services, Kubernetes. I've also covered these app surveys, problems, functions, and other things. So please take a look at this as well. But database, yes, I'm going to do it next time. So please do join me next session, which will be in depth for database.
So can you please share this PPT so ultimately we can have all the details? Means all the
Sure.
date.
Oh yeah, it's it's available here. Let me.
Okay. Yeah. Either you can share the link.
So it's all the joining dates. Everything is available on the website. 28th website. It's joined the description of that. So you can click on this and you'll be able to reach the links. There is also another series which is happening in parallel, which is this Saturday, which I'm going to talk about Java apps and other things. But this is a separate discussion. But this is specifically at the Reactor. For if you click on this, you will also find the series. In fact, I've posted the repos and the documents which you can go through, and the video is also there, last time's sessions, and then you can find the challenge as well. This is something which we didn't do. Basically, what we did last time was uh, we did a container app, custom container. We built custom container and then deployed it. But what I'm just putting it up as a challenge for everyone is that how can you do it for a non-container app? Even if you choose something different programming language, how does this really work from a GitHub Action perspective? Just go and try and attempt this. You'll learn a lot of stuff. So
Thank you. Okay, and we have already recorded this session. So ultimately, we will get this recording video somewhere, or
yes, I'll upload it there only, the same link. And also we will update it in the meetup.com, and it is also available on the YouTube channel, which we have, which is our the Reactor YouTube channel. And you can follow the YouTube channel. That is very important. It gives you a lot of all the sessions which we are doing here at the Reactor. You will be able to access it. So that is where you can do it.
thank you so much.
Any more questions? Okay, and by the way, you also do the
Done.
so you also do the event check-in, which if you do that, you'll also get the link to GitHub repo itself. So with all the details, so it's already there. So you just do the check-in, you will get the link. and do provide survey link. Um, I know I'm happy to do Kubernetes deep dive sessions and other things. Do provide us the feedback that what kind of sessions you are interested in, what are the sessions you want us to do, so that we can take a look at the survey, or what are the things you're looking for, and probably plan those sessions for you. Okay. Thank you, folks. But do the check-in and do provide server links. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vivek, for the session, and thank you all for joining us today. Please feel free to scan the QR code displayed on the screen and do the event check-in. Also, please visit our Microsoft Reactor Bengaluru meetup page for upcoming session. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your evening.